of the rivers, of the flowers. It is beyond the power. But it was not beyond the power of God Himself. And so understand, starting from the edifice, starting from what God has built, what God has done, what is the Word through whom it has been realized, and this is not His only work. You see the stars, these also He has made. The sun to shine by day, the moon by night, these are His work. He has made the angels. He has made the thrones. He has made the powers and the principalities, the dominations. By the Word, everything that has been made. Judge by what the Word, what power this is. Someone will say to me, perhaps, who is thinking of this Word? And when you hear the Word, be unwilling to think of something unworthy, to explain the words you daily hear. Such a one has said such words. He has spoken such words. You relate such words to me. For by constantly using words, we lose the value of the Word. Thus, when you hear, in the beginning was the Word, so you imagine of something of little value, because words to you, they are of little value. But this Word is not of little value. It is of the greatest value, because when we hear this Word, we must understand that the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, that this Word is God. Be unwilling to believe that He, the Word, Jesus, was made. He was not made. He was from the beginning. And through Him, everything that has been made was made. And lest you be not remade through the Word, through whom all things are remade. For you, this truth must be. You have already been made through the Word, because He has made everything. But it is necessary that you be remade through the Word. But if your faith in the Word is touched by error, you cannot be remade through the Word. And if it has fallen your lot to be made through the Word, so that through it you were made through yourself, you are defective. If you are defective through yourself, it is necessary that the one who has made you should remake you. If you have deteriorated through yourself, it is necessary that the one who has created you should recreate you. It is by the renewing of our minds that we are made new through the blood of Jesus Christ. But how can you be recreated to the Word if you think ill of the Word? If you think that the Word was made, if you think that the Word was not made flesh and dwelt among us. The evangelist says, in the beginning was the Word, and you say, in the beginning the Word was made. No, not in the beginning was the Word was made. He says all things were made through Him. And you said that the Word itself was also made. The evangelist, he could have said, in the beginning the Word was made. But what did he say? No, he said, in the beginning was the Word. And if it was not made. So that all these things were made through it, and without it, nothing was made. If you cannot think of what it is to be attentive, then you will not grow. He is solid food. This I speak to you. It is solid food. It is not the milk of the Word, so that you may nourish and grow strong in the Lord and in the power of His might. So now, what follows? All things were made through Him, and without Him there was made nothing. See that you do not think that nothing was something. Many hear this word and they think wrongly. Without Him, nothing has been made. They are accustomed to think that nothing is something. They are accustomed to think that nothing is something, and that sin is something. And so sin must have been made by him. But sin was not made by him. That means sin is nothing. It is evident that sin is nothing. And when the men choose to sin, when the men choose sin, they choose nothing. They would give their lives for nothing. They would lose their families for nothing. They would give all their wealth for nothing. Because sin, it is nothing. It was not made by him, by the Word. And the idol was not made to the Word. It is a human form, yes. But it is man himself who was made through the Word. For the human form, for the idol was not made through the Word. And it is written, we know that the idol is nothing. Again, Paul, he writes in 1 Corinthians, that has not been made through the Word, but made through him are all things which are naturally made, all that is in creatures, absolutely all that dwells in heaven, all that shines in the firmament, that which flies above in the sky, that which swims in the sea, whatever moves in the universe, every creature without exception. I shall speak most clearly to you. I shall speak so that you may understand everything, from the angel to the worm, it was made by him. What is there more elevated among the creatures than the angel? What is more lowly than the worm? But the one who made the angel is the one who made the worm. He made the angel worthy of heaven. He made the worm worthy of earth. But he who created fixed the place of things. And if he had placed the worm in heaven, you would say, oh, this is not right. This is not good. You would even perhaps be so proud as to rebuke him for what he has done. It pleased him to make the angels. But if it had pleased him to make the angels like the worm, you would rebuke. And yet, it is almost what God did. See, it is almost what God did. For all men are born of flesh. And what are we as men if we are not worms? And from these worms God made angels. If the Lord said of himself, I am a worm and not a man, Psalms writes this. Who would hesitate to say what is written in the book of Job? How much more is man from decay and the son of man a worm? He said, first of all, man is from decay. And next, the son of man is a worm, because the worm is born from decay. Man is decay, and the son of man is a worm. This is what he willed to become for you. Can you not see how great, how wonderful this is? This truth, that the Word was made flesh for you. The one who in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Why did he become that for you? Why did he make himself a worm, a man, for you, for me? In order to nourish you. All things have been made through him, and without him nothing has been made. For all the creatures have been made through him. The greatest, the smallest, the highest, the lowest have been made. The spiritual, the corporeal have been made through him. No form, indeed, no structure, no harmony of parts, no substance of nature that have been weight or number or measure exist except through the Word. Through the Word. The creative Word of which is said, you have disposed all things with measure, number, and weight. And so, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Close the ears of your heart to the deceit of the enemy, to his lies. Understand that God has made everything, and he has placed it in its order, in its rank. Why then do we have so many evils to suffer from a creature that God has made? Because we have offended God. I speak of the fly.